Friends, we can all see that many white bloggers have millions of followers. Please support me too, because my followers are still few. Black bloggers also deserve to be famous. Raise fist medium dark skin tone. My friends, let's unite and lift each other up. Please press subscribe button and like. Commander Maya Johnson stood resolutely in the courtroom, her silver star gleaming against a backdrop of a tense atmosphere. Judge William Harrington, a decorated Vietnam veteran, sneered at her, demanding she remove the medal that symbolized her bravery. "This medal wasn't earned by someone like you," he spat, his disdain palpable. Maya, however, wore a knowing smile, ready to unveil a story of resilience and justice that would challenge the very foundations of discrimination. Maya's journey began in the gritty streets of South Chicago during the 1990s. Raised by her mother, Elaine, a passionate educator of African-American history, Maya learned early about the harsh realities of racism. Despite her academic brilliance, she faced systemic barriers that sought to undermine her potential. "They see your skin before they see your brain," her mother would remind her, preparing Maya for a world that often judged her by her appearance rather than her intellect. Determined to break through the barriers, Maya excelled in academics and athletics, eventually earning a scholarship to Howard University. However, against her mother's wishes, she enlisted in the Navy, declaring, "There are walls that need breaking, and I'm going to be the sledgehammer." The Navy, however, was unprepared for Maya's tenacity. During basic training, she faced relentless harassment, but she emerged at the top of her class, earning a recommendation for officer candidate school. Maya's ambition led her to the grueling BUD/S training program, where she aimed to become a Navy SEAL. Despite the odds stacked against her, only 2 women had completed the program, and none were black. Maya's resolve only strengthened. After a setback during her first attempt, she returned with renewed determination, documenting every instance of discrimination she faced. With the guidance of Senior Chief Raymond Torres, she transformed her struggles into a narrative of triumph, ultimately becoming the first black woman to complete SEAL training. Her deployments were marked by both routine missions and extraordinary challenges. In Somalia, a seemingly straightforward intelligence-gathering operation turned into a nightmare. When their team was ambushed, Maya took charge, establishing a defensive position and coordinating the evacuation of her wounded comrades. In the chaos, she sustained severe injuries, losing her leg but not her spirit. The silver star she earned for her bravery was overshadowed by the trauma that followed her medical discharge. Transitioning to civilian life proved to be another battle. Maya faced discrimination in the job market, her disability often overshadowing her qualifications. For nearly a year, she withdrew from the world, her medals collecting dust. However, a chance encounter at a VA hospital reignited her purpose. Inspired by fellow veterans, she began advocating for better treatment of disabled veterans, particularly those from minority backgrounds. 3 years later, Maya found herself at the forefront of the storm she had ignited. As the Director of Research and Advocacy for the Veterans Justice Initiative, she spearheaded a groundbreaking project analyzing military decorations awarded over the past 30 years. The findings were shocking. Black service members were 68% less likely to receive high-level commendations for identical actions compared to their white counterparts. The report, titled Unequal Valor, sent shockwaves through the military community. However, the backlash was swift and brutal. Conservative media labeled Maya unpatriotic, and Judge Harrington, a vocal critic, used his platform to attack her character. A lawsuit filed against her by the Veterans Heritage Foundation accused her of falsifying her service record. The judge assigned to the case? None other than Harrington himself, Maya's initial attorney, overwhelmed by the hostility of the court, was replaced by Gabriel Washington, a young civil rights attorney with a reputation for taking on impossible cases. Gabriel recognized the stakes. They're not just coming after your medals, they're coming after everything you represent. Together, they navigated a legal landscape fraught with bias and hostility. As the trial progressed, Maya faced a judge who openly disrespected her, questioning her credibility and dismissing key evidence. Yet, she remained undeterred. During a pivotal moment in court, she boldly declared, "This uniform and these decorations were earned with blood. Unlike some, I don't have family connections to smooth my path. The courtroom erupted, and the video of her confrontation went viral, drawing national attention to her case. With the public spotlight shining brightly, Maya's fight transformed from a personal battle into a symbol of resistance against systemic discrimination. As she uncovered evidence of Judge Harrington's corruption, including his son's involvement in a friendly fire incident during the Somalia mission, the stakes escalated. The investigation revealed a network of influence designed to maintain traditional power structures within the military. Despite threats and intimidation, Maya pressed on, determined to expose the truth. The deeper she dug, the more dangerous her investigation became. Yet, she remained steadfast, knowing that her fight was not just for herself, but for all those who would follow in her footsteps. The courtroom drama reached its climax when Maya presented irrefutable evidence of Harrington's misconduct. The judge's attempts to silence her only fueled her resolve. As the walls of corruption began to crumble, Maya stood tall, embodying the spirit of resilience that had defined her journey in a stunning turn of events. The Judicial Review Panel recommended Harrington's removal from the federal bench, citing a pattern of bias and abuse of power. The Justice Department launched a criminal investigation into his financial dealings, exposing a web of corruption that had long gone unchecked. Maya's victory was not just personal. It represented a seismic shift in the military's approach to diversity and recognition. The establishment of the Johnson Initiative for Military Equity marked a commitment to addressing disparities in military recognition and promotion. As she stood before a crowd at the Pentagon, Maya reflected on her journey. "This moment isn't about one person's vindication," she declared. "It's about ensuring our military truly reflects the values it defends." Her words resonated, inspiring a new generation of service members to challenge the status quo. But just as the dust began to settle, a new challenge emerged. Judge Harrington, desperate to salvage his reputation, launched a counterattack. He revealed classified details about Maya's Somalia mission, claiming they endangered national security. The Pentagon scrambled to contain the fallout, and Maya found herself once again in the crosshairs of a corrupt system determined to silence her. As the courtroom drama unfolded, Maya realized her fight was far from over. The stakes had never been higher, and the battle for justice was just beginning. Would she be able to expose the truth and ensure that her sacrifices were not in vain? In a moment of clarity, Maya understood that the fight was not just about her medals or her reputation. It was about the integrity of the military and the future of countless service members who would come after her. She gathered her allies, including Gabriel and her fellow veterans, to strategize their next move. They knew they had to act quickly to counter Harrington's claims and protect the integrity of their mission as they prepared for the next court appearance. Maya felt a surge of determination. She would not let Harrington's desperate tactics derail the progress they had made. The truth was on her side, and she was ready to fight for it, no matter the cost. The day of the hearing arrived, and the courtroom buzzed with anticipation. Reporters filled the seats, eager to witness the next chapter of this unfolding saga. Maya entered, her heart pounding but her resolve unshaken. She took her place at the defense table, ready to confront the man who had tried to strip her of her honor. As the proceedings began, Maya felt the weight of the moment. This was not just a battle for her. It was a fight for justice, for recognition, and for the future of all who served. She glanced at Gabriel, who nodded encouragingly and took a deep breath. "Your Honor," she began, her voice steady, "I stand here not just for myself, but for every service member who has faced discrimination and injustice. Today, we will expose the truth." And with that, the courtroom fell silent, the air thick with anticipation, as Maya prepared to unveil the evidence that would change everything. Dear listeners, did you enjoy today's story? If you are interested in the fate of our heroes, we will definitely prepare the next parts. Subscribe, because your attention and feedback are our greatest source of inspiration.